Hi, Alan Stratton here from CostMatters.com. When conditions gradually change, we often fail to recognize the magnitude and consequences of the entire change. Consequently, we also fail to take action appropriate to the change. Just as the proverbial frog swimming in a pot of cool water that's over a fire fails to recognize the gradual warming until it's too late, we continue with current management practices and fail to recognize the change that has taken place. Similarly, in costing products, we fail to see how our practices have led us into a condition that is no longer beneficial, no longer makes sense. We expect that product revenue will cover all costs. Indeed, it must in order to have a profit. And to facilitate management discussions and decisions, we calculate a product cost and include all costs, both variable and fixed. Now, all is well, the water's cool, as long as our sales volume closely tracks our capacity to produce and deliver products. The water in our pot is cool and refreshing, and there is no need to jump out. But when volume drops, we continue to calculate product costs the same way. When volume drops but costs remain constant, the calculated unit cost of a product actually increases. The water in our pot is warming. The trend of decreasing volume continues and unit costs actually soar. Now, our water is boiling. We have failed to recognize the situation and jump out. About a century ago, H.L. Gantt, who was born in 1861, lived till 1919, he is the creator of the Gantt charts, but Mr. Gantt also wrote about costing practices. Now, adapting his example, a company has production facilities in 3 different cities. Each facility is identical to the others. Each has fixed costs of 1 million and product volume of 1 million units. Therefore, unit cost of products is $1 each. Later, volume drops precipitously from 3 million units to 1 million units. And the company appropriately shuts down 2 facilities in 2 of the different cities. It has a profit hit from the fixed overhead of the 2 closed facilities, but its unit cost of product is still $1 a unit. Now, he goes on and applies the scenario to 3 facilities, but in the same city. The results are the same. The company absorbs the charge to profit for the 2 closed facilities and still has a unit cost of $1. The water in our pot boils as the scenario changes again, but this time the 3 facilities are under one roof. Nothing inherent to the product has changed. What is the product unit cost now? Does the product cost $1 or $3? Now, in my experience, far too many people now give the answer as $3. Now, their frog is boiled alive as they continued to apply their original costing paradigm despite dramatic changes. To continue to make a profit, then these $3 people attempt to pass their cost increases to their customers. But from their customers' point of view, nothing about the product has changed. Customers willing to pay for value. However, there's no additional value to justify a higher price. Again, nothing about the product has changed. Therefore, if the higher price is forced on the customer will likely take their business elsewhere and further aggravate the product cost problem. The problem in this situation is a failure to understand capacity and how to appropriately use cost with capacity. In Gantt's example and in modern business, customers are not willing to pay for idle capacity. Idle capacity does not belong in the product's unit cost. Instead, the cost of idle capacity should be recognized for what it is, a period cost, and charged to the current period's income statement. Let's examine our cost paradigms. Take a step back and truly examine what we are doing. Let's not be that frog who cannot jump out of the water in time to avoid being boiled alive. The best time to understand capacity and how it affects our business is when our water is cool and refreshing. That time is always now, rather than later when our profit water is boiling and too hot to survive and we make quick, stupid sometimes decisions. So what's your experience with miscosting capacity in your company? And please share them below. So when cost matters, profits soar. This is Alan Stratton from costmatters.com, and thank you.